Hey, what's happening? What a fantastic performance there by State Dependency. And right now we're going to do a bit of a hangout, and I will let the guys introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Aiden. And if you didn't notice, I do play guitar and vocals.
So I'm Ogi, and I try and play the drums in time.
I've got this 5-string instrument. Somebody gave it to me one day. I'm Jared, and I make bass noises, I think.
Slapping a bass.
Slapping the bass.
Thanks so much, guys, for joining us tonight. You're no stranger to any of the videos that I make. I mean, we did a Cooking with Friends. You can find
on
them.
The Couch with Friends.
We'll drop a link below, okay, to the State Dependency YouTube channel. We've done On
We're
the Couch with
family,
Friends,
dude.
and you'll find that in the video that pops up just now there. And tonight, in the live room at Studio 31. Guys, we're working together for, 4 years now? Aiden, give us a bit of a backstory on where State Dependency come from and what led us to where we are tonight.
I'm probably going to mess this up because I think I did last time actually when I tried to tell the history.
I'm sorry, I'll keep
My memory is so terrible, man.
We're gonna have to edit this.
So,
Eddie, do you want to pull up the State Dependency bio quickly?
Yeah,
actually, can you pull that up on your phone
No.
quickly, man? Because, yeah.
Unbelievable. Just try and,
Are you guys on Wikipedia?
Something.
In a
Just make
haze
up a
In
bio.
a haze of smoke
Make up
and
a
beer. Yeah, so I mean, we've been around for a while, obviously. It started out, it's always been a 3-piece band, and it started out with a different bassist at the time. Basically we met Ogi, well, the bassist met Ogi at the same varsity, and basically we were looking to put together a band. Like me and the bassist were busy playing without a drummer, and then they met at a same university or whatever. So then, yeah, we basically got together and jammed, and it was like the most amazing experience ever. Like to actually have a drummer who can play double bass was like the craziest thing. You know, like one of those moments where you just can't like stop smiling.
Yep.
It's like it was the most amazing thing ever. You know, to have this guy in the room who can actually do double bass. So yeah, that's basically where it started, and it's always been a 3-piece, and it's kind of evolved since then. And then eventually Jared joined the band. On bass, and the sound, I guess, and the music has always evolved since then, basically getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and slower at the same time, hence the groove element to it. But yeah, it's like I say, it's been quite a journey, man, and where we are now, I guess, is, you know, the reason why we're still doing this is because we love doing it, and we love jamming together, and we love having fun playing music together. So, you know, that's the only reason why I guess we're still doing this. You know?
It's got to be fun. Absolutely. I can't agree anymore. Ogi, moving on to you, all the way from Sofia in
The Eastern Bloc.
Eastern Bloc. And
Chip off that block.
Bulgaria.
Proper Slav, yeah.
Yeah.
dude,
So,
what
yeah, what
brings
can I
you
say?
to South Africa? What is your background in drumming?
Self-taught, basically, like
Okay.
most others on the scene. But just to build on that point, like I don't think anybody was playing double bass at the time. Well, if there were, it was, you know, not what one would expect, I guess, for international guys, you know, locally speaking.
Right.
But anyway, you know, drum-wise, that's how I started trying to actually learn double bass. You know, it was one of the things I was like, yes, please, you know, this sound. If I can just play that, I'll be a happy man. You know, so yeah, I mean, basically joined a band, I don't know, I think in like 06 or something like that. And it wasn't like a metal band or anything. But it got me going to like, you know, jam with others. And then like AD explained, I bumped into Dylan, who was our old bassist at university.
Now you've got a new and younger one.
Well, actually, I think he's about the same age. In fact, he's a little bit older. Yeah, he's about a year older, or a few months or something like that. So yeah, Dill eventually one day was like, hey man, I've got a friend, you know, we're sort of starting this thing up. Do you want to come and jam? So I hauled all my gear through to, you know, Dylan's house, which was here in the north. And I was, you know, based in the south along with Jared. And I mean, the two of us have been friends for like 25 years now, I think.
Okay.
You know, actually a little bit less than that, maybe 23, well, whatever. It's like over 2 decades.
Right.
So anyway, like we met back in school, and I started playing with Dylan and Morris, hauled my gear up that day, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. These guys know some cool tracks. They know a couple of, In Flames, Slipknot and that type of thing, which at the time was like, the in thing, new metal. This is like 07, type of time. Yeah, System of a Down was like still sort of high up, and then you would come, all the core bands were coming up at the time, So yeah, that's pretty much it. We haven't really looked back since. We've had, a more extended timeline of effort, I think, because of life.
Yeah.
So we're more like a 30 Seconds to Mars type of band, in the sense of we release like an album once every 5 years, if that. Or like two. We're like a decade in, we'll release something.
If our drummer was better,
Shittier music, maybe.
Yeah. So
you could do a full fucking 6 time, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And Jazz can say his part as to when exactly he joined, but yeah, we've been going for like 15 years, like Morris is saying. We've played some of the more known festivals, except for obviously like Ramfest. We haven't had a chance to play that, but yeah, we've played others, and it's been cool to see and participate in the growth of the scene over the years. We're obviously not like a core band, if you want to call it, but it's fine. We still produce metal, of a different kind, and we're still trying to like kind of leave our mark on the scene to say, yeah, this is what we do. And then Jazz brings the thunder with the bass. You can tell you more about that.
Okay, well, that's what Ogi wants. Tell us more,
apparently
Jared.
that's my cue, eh? Shit.
I was actually going to ask about, tell us a bit more about the single releases and EP releases in the past. Going back,
for sure. So like, just to touch base on what Ogi said, we've always been the band that has been on the outskirts. Talking about core.
Underground.
So I mean, anybody who's older than 20, I believe, knows of the East, like the East Rand scene, 1610. We were the only band that was part of that. Yeah, obviously.
We're that old.
Because you're not a
people
core
on the
boy.
scene will know. Anybody above the age of 30.
Anybody who knows. But yeah, I mean, I recall watching these guys play. One of my first shows was alongside them, next to these 1610 core bands, and we were just like so out of pocket. And we've always been out of pocket. But what's great about it is we've never changed what we do, and we love what we do. I mean, so just to show you how old we really are, I took Ogi to go buy his first drum kit in my skadonk old yellow car. Dude, remember that?
I still have that drum kit.
You still have the drum kit? Yeah. Dude, that was...
It's in storage.
2 decades ago?
Yeah, that was
so,
like
it's,
05.
Yeah.
05.
Yeah, I mean, Ogi came up to my house the one time.
Maybe even 04.
How old were we? 15. He goes and slams down 2 CDs. He's like, here's Limp Bizkit. There's Linkin Park. I'm like, what is this crap? And
you can't not love the new metal of the 2000s.
And the best part was, it's what started our love for alternative music.
It's coming back now. I mean, it's making a turn again, new metal in a different type of...
Sadly.
So yeah, the one thing I do appreciate about us as a unit, we've known each other for years, and we appreciate each other, and we're friends. Friends first and foremost.
Yeah.
And then secondary to that is all about the music. I mean, all the love to Dylan. He created such a great foundation. He brought these guys together. He created the tone that is State Dependency. Aiden's obviously mastered it, created it, made it his own. If I didn't meet Ogi, Ogi and I would still be playing Blink covers. And local karaoke hangouts, eh?
Yeah, probably.
I've got pictures, proof. I'll share it with you one day.
Maybe we can cut it into the B-roll of this video.
And I really appreciate it. Like in the beginning when I watched this band play, I was always the supporter, right. And then I got the opportunity to actually audition, and they like it. Let's do it. Aiden, this guy, such a song master. So I literally pulled in to the Premonition. So if anybody knows about a Spotify, you guys will know the Premonition album. I barely know how to play a fucking fast string bass, and he's like, "You're gonna record these songs."
I think Jazz has been with us, since that album. That's like 10 years, 11 years now.
We've been together forever. And
it's been
that's the reason why this is a brotherhood. Like, never will I change that, ever. No matter how bad you rip on Ogi. Yeah, look at these guns. The only thing that's grown bigger than me is those guns.
Oh, man. France, just on that point, I mean, we've been to festivals since before we even had a band. Like, flip. We've
Woodstock,
done so much
2004.
stupid shit
Oh,
as a band without actually
As a unit.
like really like being at any one particular location to play. We just rock up as a band with friends and whatever, and we'll just hang out and have fun. I think, you know, just to build on what Jazz is saying, that's kind of what's kept us together, because we just have fun when we play. And, you know, it is something of a, you know, we're trying to make it into a business in a sense, but you
And
know,
Francie-
it's tough going, man, to try and do something like
and that's
that.
how we met you, dude. Remember?
Yeah.
At Rusty fucking Hook.
That is right. We met at Rusty Hook on
Rusty
Alternative
Hook.
Sunday.
Rusty Snook.
And just a big
Because
shout
somebody
out
had
to-
a Lamb of God shirt on.
No, it was not just that. It was also a Black Cat Bones cap that we
Yes.
shot. Same, twinsies.
year was
Quibus.
this?
Oh,
This in
love
2020,
those guys.
This was in 2019.
2019,
19, yes,
just before
2019.
COVID.
Yeah, 4 years.
Andre, thank you for being such a great guitarist.
We'll have them in the studio in upcoming videos. Stay
That
tuned.
sounds
for that.
great.
But yeah, thankfully for that weekend at Rusty Hook, it was fantastic. I mean, seeing the same things. Guys, from Premonition, where do things go? Your sound has always been the same. Well, there's been some change ups, but you can always hear when there's a Stay Dependency track playing, and from afar. There's a lot of prog in it. There's a lot of, dare I say, Tool influence. And you've got a tattoo there on your arm, Aiden, of a band called Opeth. Big influence, obviously. Tell us more about that and how that influences your music.
I think the biggest thing anyway behind our sound anyway is we're always trying to do something that's honest, that's genuine, and that's what I've always drawn from, I guess, from Opeth in that sense. You know, the guitar work and everything, and the songwriting aspect of it has always been a big thing for me. And I'm very much attracted to songwriters more than like, you know, virtuoso dudes or whatever. in that
Right,
sense.
yeah.
So I'm very big into that, and that's what pulls me more than anything else. So I think that was a big thing for me. And Opeth have such a diverse catalog in that sense. Even up to now, you know, they've, you know, not really a metal band anymore, you know, but I think it's heavier than ever. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So I think that's always been the biggest thing for me. Is it's literally like always trying to be, you know, true to myself and you know, trying to do something different in that sense. So I think that's always been the driving force between our evolution of the music anyway.
And this brought us to your latest EP that's coming out a little bit later this year. You guys are doing it through singles. EP called Ether. That's just the title or the first track?
Yeah,
off the EP?
that was the first single, that we released from that EP.
Yeah.
So that was Ether,
Cool. Tell us more about how Ether, which means air, in
Yeah, it's based off like sort of like a Greek mythology kind of concept in that sense, and we're tying it into you know, we always try to tie the feeling of the song into a concept in that sense. So you know, generally when we write songs, we kind of try and think, you know, how does that song make you feel? What does it make you think of? You know, and we kind of attach concepts in that way, you know. So that's those, and a lot of those times those kind of things come around in the practice room, you know, while we're jamming it, you know.
AD, never will I forget. So our old practice room had these giant chalkboards. We had Ogi with a chalk.
Yes,
I was
a
breaking that
graph
thing down.
of how the song is meant to go up in tempo, down in
Yes.
tempo, up in. It was incredible.
It ends up like a graph.
And
you know, so-
funnily enough, that's how Bridges, our previous release, came
That's it.
about. It was incredible
It was like
because
that.
it was a journey. And I mean, I'm sure Aiden's gonna like.
Well, I think that's like Jazz is saying. I think the biggest thing is it's about it. The songs are like a journey, and we're always trying to like, you know, emphasize that and put that through the music. It's a journey the whole way through, you know, and that kind of like, you know, dictates, you know, how the song sounds and where it goes and what direction it takes. So yeah, that's definitely I like, you know, Ether and the rest of them kind of, like I say, the concept came about just about the feeling of the music that we were writing at that point, you know, and we kind of put this whole concept together. So we've got 4 singles that we're going to be releasing from the EP. We've released one, which is Ether, and the other one we don't really have a date yet. We kind of still sussing that out. But
Are you very shy about name dropping the tracks at the moment?
You'll know it when we drop it. I mean,
So
Damn.
let me pass a little bit of. So the rest of my basis, we always live under this cloud of hatred. So
Right.
I'm gonna do this. This next release is going to be very close to a certain person's personal life, because somebody is getting a little bit older in a few days. So we really, so we're not going to divulge more than that. I think watch our socials. I think France, your socials,
Yeah.
and the state socials, and maybe somebody you'll get a little bit of an idea.
Yeah,
Maybe.
basically keep your eyes peeled in that sense. We are working on things in the background and whatnot. So yeah, just keep a lookout.
Yeah, we're not a flashy band, but when we come through, we want to hit people with substance,
You
proper
come with the
substance.
thunder.
Listen,
I think
let's not
we're-
talk about that,
yeah.
because there's only one of us that doesn't have a partner right now.
yeah, that's basically me. So anyway, but like to just build on what these guys are saying.
my buddy.
No, but I've
Hello,
got these
boy.
guys. They're kind of like my wives in a sense.
That is just too precious.
Wow.
Morris and Jazz being
But
like wives.
to like build on what Morris is saying, we're kind of like an acquired taste. It doesn't vibe with the like we never like the in thing, if I can say. It kind of hit like.
But people always watch
grows
you when
on
you're
you.
out at shows on stage. People come to stage.
I
and-
mean, it's like maybe it's not the standard type of show that you would see. I don't even know what that would be constituted as these days, but like a show that just flows and goes through the paces. If you go through one of our shows, we kind of want it to be like exactly as Aiden's saying, like a journey of some sort, and you're going down the path with us, and in some cases you might even like completely zone out on what the hell's going on, and then the song will be like 6 or 7 minutes, or like even 8 these days. You don't have songs anywhere near that length. It's
Absolutely.
like 3-4 minutes.
very
max,
very little, and it's not very
so-
always very good for radio play.
no,
If I have to say that,
definitely
but you can't encapsulate a journey through means of a short period of time.
for like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I mean, some of our intros are like 2 minutes.
Right.
There's an interlude that's like 3 minutes or 4 minutes. That's just that piece that we're just extending it, and then building on it, and then like moving it through, different pathways, almost like going down a mountain slope in a way.
So if I can add to what Ogi's saying, like he did say something to us previously at band practice. We were all chilling, and it's very true. The truth of the fact is the fact that our crowd, people who appreciate our music, people who watch us, people who want to download our songs, they're not necessarily the people standing in front of you on stage. Our crowd is an honest, true to God, will force and follow us to the ends of the earth. But they will be those people that are hermits. They'll sit in front of the TV, open Spotify, listen to our tracks over and over and over again, support us loyally, but you won't really see them out of shows.
Right.
So like obviously our hype bands, and all praise and respect to those guys, they have crowds that come through and watch them and play their shows, and they'll bang head, create the wall of death and all that. For us, it is very much it's almost like a more personal, intimate connection with our audience, and people who come to us, they don't necessarily see us play live. They would prefer watching us doing these things.
Right. Yeah.
With you. I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah, obviously, dude. I mean, the Cooking with France was the start.
It was. The
It's
start.
hilarious. but-
Links in the description below.
Yeah,
That was an amazing night,
please,
dude.
That
That was
so
amazing.
great. That was the first.
If we can get
Wow.
a kitchen out there that would like to do a cooking show with myself and
Please,
fantastic
guys.
bands like we've got in the studio
Ogi
tonight.
chops well. And Aiden
does
can
chop
marinate chicken and beer.
And
Those tomatoes are pretty
taught
even the
Ogi
last
that
time.
you do not use steel utensils in non-stick
Non-stick
pans.
cook-
Please, that was
Listen,
like one single like.
I'm not gonna lie.
It wasn't even a scrub. I was just
this
like
day-
checking the patty, and then I flipped it, and it was like, okay, I need
kind of
another
lost it. I
device.
lost it.
But again, it was your fucking pan and it cost a fortune. So
Yeah, check out the video.
It was fun, like I
But
said. just
truth be
one
told,
patty got
I'm
flipped.
sorry, Ogi never made the mistake. That was me. So you're gonna
Yeah,
have to hate me.
it was
I
jazz,
don't
but
hate.
I got the brunt of
don't
it
hate.
anyway.
I promise I do
He
not
just
hate.
dismisses like an angry golfer.
Because
We just don't hear from you for like 6 months. And we're like, France, do you still love us? Yo, boys, how you doing?
That is very accurate. Actually, we didn't speak for a while after that night.
I think no.
But
The
it
only
wasn't out
reason
of
we
anger.
didn't.
That was
It
me.
just
No.
because we were busy.
It wasn't
Yeah.
even that, man. Like just shortly after we went into lockdown. And then it was
This
like
is true.
6 months until we did then African Itch, and that's when we started to reach out again. That's when we started working together.
In
I think
saying that word, sorry, Francie, to cut you off. African Edge. Ogi, please tell people what African Edge is.
Okay, so like, I mean, and look, we did experiment with doing other things as well. I mean, just to like test the waters, to see what we're kind of capable of. And we hosted an event of our own for a couple of years. It was pretty cool, we just, again, trying to just leave our mark on the scene, in a positive way. And, hopefully it has good return in terms of people coming out to shows. And like Jazz says, we're maybe not the hype band, if you want to call it. Because our sound is a bit different and it's not obviously filled with a lot of other extras. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love the sound that's got these synth, elements over it with other bands that play on the scene. But for us, it's like, okay, cool. Well, we've got to fill up that space with, the sound that we're putting on the table. And, that's got to come across in a different way. And, in order to do that, we've got to play in a certain style. And, maybe we won't have all the bells and whistles, but we kind of like, in a way, making it work on the spot to try and see how's it going to come out and, and sound on that day. It can't be the same each and every time. If you listen to the greats of our time, even like guys like, Jimi Hendrix and Bob and the rest of the guys that are on the walls, none of them would be able to play the same song twice in the same way. It will be different each and every time to give it that unique feel, irrelevant of the stage size that it's on, So we kind of try and do that. So I think, even as I was saying to, the guys earlier while we were setting up, we kind of like a more closed, more intimate band. You kind of have to be here in that space to get that feel of it, And, we have translated it to a more open arena, but you need so much more sound to fill up that space. So we haven't quite, hit that nail on the head yet. But as soon as we're in like that club environment, when we can channel the sound forward, and it's got the right acoustics of the venue, it really comes out how we really sound. It gives it that raw feel, that whole, it's like almost like powerful to sit there and listen to it. And obviously we're trying to put on a show as well, bang head and whatnot. But you kind of have to feel it here. It's like you feel that density, as you are listening to the track and you're moving through it in that way. And you can bang head, and it's great if you do it. If you don't, it's all good too, because if you're out there spacing out in your head, then we're hitting the nail on the head.
Fantastic. Great message there, and thank you so much, Ogi. Appreciate that.
Sweet.
Starting to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Jazz, from your side, my dude, what do you envisage for the short-term future of State Dependency after releasing these 4 tracks?
So what we do is we always try to put our emotions and our hearts into these tracks. Like we were discussing earlier with our wonderful sound producer who's hiding away. Who shall not be mentioned right now. Oh, there we go. There's his face.
He's there.
So what we try to do as a band is, like Ogi says, we're an intimate band. No matter how heavy and how brutal our sound is, we want to envelop you. We want to make you feel what we feel. What I do appreciate about Aiden's songwriting is the fact that no matter how brutal we may sound outward as a band, there's always a very honest truth on the inside. So Aiden will always approach topics such as, things today that like affect mental health, physical health, relationships. So we want people, not everybody will hear what we're saying or screaming, which is fine. But if they can feel the emotion to the music, which is what, and again, not sucking dick, but Aiden does very well. Anyway, no, we don't do that.
No,
so the point is
that's when we need to introduce mic etiquette.
Your mic etiquette
technique. Yeah.
So listen, remember, bear in mind, I came into the band secondarily. I love that face. Do it again. So the point is this: I've always been an admirer of State Dependency before I became part of State Dependency. And that's where I'm coming from with all those stories. So I've always admired Aiden, his songwriting skills. He's been my best friend for fucking ever. So I love him to death. He's like my little brother. You are my
3 months younger.
Yeah, 3 months younger. So what I'm getting at is the fact that us as a band, we are always very true, honest, and emotional with what we do. If we can touch one person in a crowd of 100 to understand what we're feeling on stage, what Aiden's trying to push out on stage, that's our goal. With the likes of African Edge, which is our own little bit of an events company, which was a spin-off of our band, we want to give other bands who we feel are really great, but don't have the opportunity that we see in SA music, where they don't particularly get stage time because of maybe they don't have the fan base. We want to allow them on stage alongside us or even without us. The point is, we want to promote others and we want to show this collective love and care in the music scene. And France, I know you're the Cupid of love. Where's that bow and arrow? The point is that. So from my side, again, this is what we do. It's very emotional. It's very true. It's very honest, intimate. No matter how big the stage is, we're going to try to bring every single one of those people in front of us onto the stage alongside us to really feel what we're feeling.
Great stuff, man. Yeah, it's all about building community. Coming back to the vocalist, to end it all off tonight, thank you once again to you both and you, Aiden, for spending some time in the studio with us and doing a really, really cool recording, as you will have seen just before. Final words from you. Say something to our viewers out there. And yeah, man, end of the night for us.
Just a massive thanks, obviously, to everyone who has supported us over the years and been at those shows and partied with us, basically, and experienced all those good times together. So, again, and anybody who's supporting us in any way in that sense, we really appreciate it. It is a driving force as to why we carry on doing it at the same time. It's the greatest feeling ever when you see people really getting into that experience with you. So we really appreciate that. And we're going to carry on doing this for as long as we physically can, I guess, because that's what we love doing. Me personally, I love writing music, and I don't know what I would do if I couldn't write music. So that's always going to be a thing regardless. So yeah, man, just thank you to everyone who's supported us. Thank you, France.
Welcome.
For all the awesome stuff we've done together. Massive thanks to Merrick, Studio 31, for this evening. That was really awesome.
Ruan, who's had to deal with family emergencies.
Thank you, Ruan, as well. Yeah, tonight was incredible, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, that's just from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Agreed.
Great. Thanks, France.
Really, dude.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Since the beginning, since what you said, 2019?
2019, yes, indeed.
Again, you've been our foundation. You've helped us a lot.
I'm truly honored.
Like a brother, man. Like a brother.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say thank you once again to the band, to the engineers, and everyone in Studio 31 for having a good time with us. And I'd like to encourage you to just smash that like button, do a subscribe, put the heart, not the heart, the bell thing, the YouTube things. I'm not good at that.
Notification button.
Notifications. There we go. Thank you very much, Ogi.
Our marketing manager.
Here at Studio 31, keep it heavy and remember, let metal shape you.